How long has he been around on the register?
He'd have been Chris will have been. And by the way, I've seen him also referee excellently.
Right.
And I've seen him referee games, and he's been a major contributing factor in the reason why the game's been a good one.
Yeah.
But that to blow up on that tackle so quick, such a big occasion. You know, I do think I did think that was. That was a poor decision.
Well, I did, but the whole of the football community stood behind him on the basis that if you analyse it intricately, you can call it a two-footed tackle because both his feet were off the ground.
How many tackles have you seen where no one is airborne?
Well, look, what I don't like is this. What I don't like is this. The whole of the world is going this way. I believe it is a continental plot, right?
Who's behind this plot?
Well, politicians in Europe, because what's happening is, you see, I think there is an absolute unity between the political state of Europe and the football game in Europe. I believe the two are very closely interlinked.
And you're going a bit heavier on that?
No, I'm not. No. The same people who are trying to create a super European state politically, which is, you know, in danger of crumbling because of the euro collapse and all that, are the same people who want to rewrite the rules of football to remove physical contact from the game. Because removing physical contact from the game alienates the British.
So the collapse of the euro and the two-footed tackle are inextricably linked.
Absolutely, mate. They are absolutely linked. And look, I know it's a bit of a thinking pact to try and link the two.
I'm trying to get there.
Well, no, you will get there. Let me explain to you. What I'm saying is that, you know, for 4 or 5 decades now, we have been subjugated by European politicians, unelected, who want to run our lives.
Red tape.
Well, just want to run our lives, you know. And you see, what a lot of people don't understand, Andy, is this. I am a student of history, so I can explain to you. We are Anglo-Saxon. The continental are not. They're continentals. Okay? So, what are you laughing at? Excuse me. I'm trying to explain this to you properly.
Right.
If you live on the continent, you're a continental. If you live in Great Britain, you're an Anglo-Saxon, right? There is a massive difference between the two. We believe in physical combat. They don't anymore in terms of football. They believe in we're all one big happy family politically, and we all live by the rules which actually benefit the weakest. That's why the Euro started.
Yes.
So that people in Greece, right,
yes,
can laze around on beaches all bloody day, right? People in, you know, like the south of Italy, laze around on bloody beaches all blinking day.
The south of Italy is very nice.
Well, it is very nice, and the Italian people are nice, but politically it's all over the place. Most people in Greece are lazy, deadbeat layabouts, right, who laze around on beaches, or they've been very successful in business, they get onto their yachts, sail around on their yachts, but don't pay any tax.
The fella owns EasyJet. He's done well for himself.
Well, he's British anyway.
Greek extraction.
Ioangelos, whatever his name
is.
Yes. Ioangelos. You know what I'm talking about. You
Demis Roussos.
No, not Demis Roussos. No, he wears caftans. But what I'm saying is, even successful Greeks have contributed to the collapse of Europe politically because they don't bother paying any taxes. But the whole thinking is, because you've been to Greece, I've been to Greece. Were you in Athens for the European Cup final, the Liverpool one? Yeah, I was as well. And the Greece are nice people, and I'm sorry if they feel offended. I've called them layabouts, but I'm afraid they are, because what they do is they go around spending money they haven't got and expect Germany to pay the bill. Now, you know, if Germany paid the bill for all of us, it'd be very nice indeed, but somebody's got to earn the money to pay the bill.
Yes.
Now, you're probably saying to yourself, why am I going off on this when we're talking about two-footed tackles?
Yes.
For this reason, that the two-footed tackle is the sign of the Anglo-Saxon warrior, right? Do you know what I mean?
He is Belgian, the lad that committed the two-footed tackle.
Who?
Vincent Kompany.
Yes, I know, but he was doing it in Anglo-Saxon territory. Great Britain.
Yeah.
Follow the plot, okay?
Right, okay.
So what I'm saying is that this is all... No,
I mean, this wasn't Stuart Pearce.
No, I know that. I know that.
The flag of St George on his chest.
I know that as well. But the referee was British, wasn't he? And he's been subjugated by, you know, continental European rules. Right. So what I'm saying is, the idea is, right, let's design football for the weakest. So the weakest are those who can't tackle. The weakest are those who don't have the metal or the bottle to want to tackle.
Right.
The weakest are those who would prefer no tackling to be in the game because it makes life easier for them. Do you understand what I'm saying?
I do.
So what we do is we impose that weakness onto the Anglo-Saxon game where we excel at physical combat, and all of a sudden you have nullified a large part of the British threat.
There's something in there.
Right, there you go. So you see now the correlation between politics and football in Europe?
Yes.
Right, there you go. So what I'm saying is this, that if you take out the tackling from the game, I mean, how come is it since, right, since they got heavy on tackling and the alleged two-footed tackle, and the tackle from behind, by the way, used to be able to whip your leg around a player going forward, take the ball away, and you'd suddenly won it. Now a foul's blown up every time.
You can still tackle like that if you put your foot round the opponent.
Not many refs would allow it.
When it goes through, it goes through the legs.
Not many refs would allow it.
I know what you mean. Historically, the ball used to get laid up to a centre forward. Centre half used to go bang, knock the lot up in the air.
So you take the physical contact, and here's the proof of the pudding. Here's the evidence, right? You take that out of the game. What happens? Instead of us having 3 teams in the semi-finals of the Champions League, instead of 2 English teams fighting out the European Cup final, instead of having 1 English team in every single Champions League final for 6 continuous years, we've only got 2 teams left in the Champions League final, in the Champions League competition now.
Not easy.
I believe it's a European plot. I believe it's a European plot.
And who do you feel is behind it?
Well, you know who's behind it. And it may not be Michel Platini, but it's certainly old Sepp Blatter to try and neutralise the world game. You can't neutralise the world game. You know, I mean, some players in Africa are so athletic.
So what do we do about it?
What do we do about it?
Yeah.
Fight back. Anglo-Saxons have to fight back. We have to say, no, we want to reimpose our methods, our views, our values on the game. We've got to. They're very jealous of us and our success, and they say, well, how can we water down the British success? It's because they're a bit more physical than the rest, so we'll water down their ability to play physical football. Don't you agree with me?
Well, what about the national team? So the national team, over the last 2 appointments, they've had Eriksson, and they've had Capello, and they're trying to go down a different road. What you're saying is, you're saying it's got to go back to basics, back to English, back to Anglo-Saxon.
No, I think there is a completely different set of rules for international football compared to club football. Club football is all about kissing badges.
Yes.
You know, pride in your club. You've got 90,000 supporters at the Bernabeu. Sorry, at the Nou Camp.
Yes.
Or the Camp Nou.
Yes.
I'm going to call it. And you know, they are so patriotic towards their team that there's a different attitude towards club football than international. International football is played in a different scenario.
Yeah.
And that's, I mean, you get sent off very, very much easier at international level than you do at club level.
Mecque un club.
Mecque un club.
Where's that?
More than a club.
Correct.
Right, and that's Barcelona.
Barcelona.
Yes. Now, last time I had a drink with you.
Have you ever, you know, the Ramblers in Barcelona?
Ramblers?
Las Ramblers. It's like that walk-through area, paved area. You know,
I didn't know it was called Las Ramblers.
Well, you was rambling in a bar one night.
Yeah, right,
I remember that.
Well, maybe.
Yeah, but down there, lots of pickpockets. You have to be very, very